Good morning. Happy Monday. All right, how are you guys doing today? I'm cutting my head off here. Okay, let me move back. Let me move my screen up. How are you guys? I've got some extra lighting here, and that's making a bit of a difference in terms of, oh, this makes me so much happier. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how to do a lunge properly and giving you some options here, because if I've noticed anything in terms of exercise in the last 25 years, as we get OLDER, this is one exercise that gets nixed pretty quickly, probably in our early 40s, maybe even in our late 40s, early 50s, are lunges, okay? So lunges typically work the front of the legs here. However, they also work the back here as well. So a traditional lunge is, so let me show you. Well, let me start off by saying that anytime that you're doing anything, you always want to be what I call set position. So your legs kind of like on train track, like legs about hip width apart. So when you step forward, regardless of what the exercise is, you still want to be on those train tracks, okay? Train tracks don't go like this, they kind of stay like this. So your legs are parallel to one another. So when you do a lunge, I'll show it to you a couple of different ways here, or a couple of different angles so you can see what I'm talking about. Is that, see if you notice that my legs are still on train tracks, is really about dropping down, right? So this is where the lowest part of your lunge is, okay? Not that you want to go that far if that's not available to you, is you're going straight down and straight up. Your body is perpendicular to the floor and you're looking for 90-degree angles in the legs, okay? This, however, can put a lot of pressure on your knee. And by the way, if none of these variations work for you, it's okay. Because there's literally a gazillion exercises for all these different body parts. So don't get caught up in like getting upset with yourself for not being able to do this exercise. It doesn't make a difference, okay? I'm just showing you different variations in case that can work for you. All right, so when you're in a more upright position, you're working more the front of the leg. So I'll show it to you this way. Okay, so I'm working this side, this leg here. Most of my weight is sitting on the front heel. My back leg is really kind of like a little bit of a kickstand. I mean, obviously you can't do it with being on a single-legged, but here is your lunge, all the way up, all the way down. And you have variations from doing the top half. So if you're not able to get all the way down, all the way up, that's okay. You can do lunges here. I'm starting to lose my balance. You can do lunges here, okay, the top half of your range. Okay, so all the weight is sitting on the heel as well as on my big toe and my pinky toe. And this is your lunge. And I can feel it right now. It's working the front of the legs. Okay, so this is what I find the most hardest for a lot of women is that exercise. I'm going to show you how to modify it so it engages more the glutes and less pressure in the knee here. And all you're doing here in this case is you're just shifting your weight more forward. So I'm leaning forward a little bit. My spine is still neutral. It's not curled. Okay, my spine is still neutral. I'm hinging from the hips more. So if you see my hips, it hinges. And right then and there, you get more activation through the hips, less pressure on the knee. Okay? So how do you do that? So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to lean forward slightly. More weight goes into my heel. And my glutes get activated here, and I'm going to do lunges. Okay, so if you notice that I'm hinging from the hips, don't worry about where my spine is going. Think about, if you look, just look at my hips. Hips are going back and forward and back and forward, okay? In terms of your back leg, you may not necessarily be here. You could bring your foot in a little bit. Okay, so I'll show it to you this way, okay? Slightly different angle. It's going to see something totally different as I'm hinging from the hips, and I'm going to activate my glutes a little bit more, okay? So the key here between the two exercises is upright versus a hinge, okay? That's the difference. Upright, you go straight up and down, you're looking for 90-degree angles. Here, you're looking more for the hinge in the hips, like a door hinge, like you are. What would this be? Opening the door, closing the door. But it's a door opening, door closing exercise with your hips, right? So you send the hips back, and then so see how my hips go back. And you're gonna feel it right here in the glutes more and less pressure on the knee. Okay. Okay, I'm streaming in from StreamYard. When I do this, I can't see who it is. Okay. So here's an exercise, a dynamic exercise that you can do for yourself in terms of the alternate lunge. Okay. More of a hip hinge position. Okay. Because I think the regular lunge is a little bit harder and it's more restricting. So if you're here, you're going to step forward and push back. Step forward and push back. I'll show it to you this way. And I like to cross over a little bit. Okay, step forward. So see how my hips go back? Push back. Step and hinge, push back. Step and hinge, push back. Step and hinge, push back. And I could feel it all through my glutes, even my adductors in here, my inner thighs. So I'll show it to you this way. Legs on train tracks. Step forward, push back. So when you're here, you're pushing from the front heel versus lifting from the back and then stepping back. Okay? So when you push from the front heel, it's actually activating those glutes a little bit more. It's firing them up to get you back into that standing position versus when you're here, you're using your back, then you're using your leg to step back. Okay, does that make sense? So let me show it to you again. Step forward, hold it. You can feel all the weight in that front heel. Make sure your chest is open, spine is neutral. And it's not about how far you can go. It's all about shifting your weight. That's all it is. Okay? Push back. Step forward, push back. So all you're doing is shifting of the weight. Oftentimes, when I show this exercise, or when I give this exercise, show you a couple of variations that people do that are wrong. One is they're still they're focusing on folding their upper body forward versus shifting their weight onto the heel. Okay, that's one. Two is kind of like this hybrid variation of trying to do both those two exercises at the same time, which looks kind of like, hang on a second here if I can do this properly. Do it wrong. See if I can do it wrong properly. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like they're trying to bend at the same time. If you do that, you're going to feel pressure in the knee. Okay. So it's just a shifting of the weight. Shift your weight forward, push back. Shift your weight forward, push back. And you should feel it right in those glutes. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Lunges, it still may or may not work for you, and that's okay because there's literally a gazillion different exercises you can do. So don't get caught up and go, I can't do that anymore. All right, and I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.